Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a lovely and wonderful and all the good things day. Thanks so much for joining me for another 5 easy step card tutorial. Today we're making a Valentine and it's a cute one. We're going to be breaking out the Steamboat Willie Duo die set. I just love the black and white, and I'll list some projects that I made at the end of the video if you guys want to see more projects using this. But Spellbinders and Simple Stories came out with an accessory that goes with it for Valentine's Day. It's called Classic Mouse Love. So we're going to be using this on our card today. We're also going to be using a BetterPress, if I can talk, a BetterPress and Glimmer plate set. It's called Classic Mouse Love Sentiments. It has some fun sentiments in here that will go perfect for my card. So we'll be using these, and then we're bringing in a little bit of pattern paper. I've had this paper pad for a while, and with Valentine's being around the corner, it's probably going to be a little bit hard to find. But if I can find it, I'll link it down below. But this is from Paper Rose Studio, and it's called Sending Hugs. We'll be using this, and then I'm also using an oldie but goodie die from Spellbinders. It's called Stitched Edge Circle Backgrounds. We're just going to create a circle frame. You don't need this particular die set. If you have a stitched circle die set, just create a frame with your stitched circles. You could do the same thing. Okay, so let's jump in with step one and create our little Steamboat Willie. I'm going to do some die cutting, and again, I'm going to create a card that is with him being black and white. I really like the color of this. We're going to take his face here, and then, well, let's kind of build him. I want him to be holding a lock and key, so this little arm will fit perfectly. The nice thing about the accessories is you do get the arms in here. Look how cute. For the Mr. and Mrs. that create a little heart. I just thought that was adorable. Although we're just going to add one Steamboat Willie to our card. This is the facial feature that I'm going to die cut out with white cardstock. I have a couple sheets of gray and a light and a dark for his breeches. Let's cut out his breeches with the gray, and then his tongue we'll keep gray also with the lighter. I want the buttons behind his breeches to be white. If I can find them. You guys can probably see them right away, huh? Here we go. That's always how that is. But his shoes. His shoes will do a dark gray. And I think his tail. Let's cut out his tail here with black. I think we got everything. Okay, we'll put this die set aside, and then I have some brushed silver cardstock from the Treasured series, and then some red cardstock. And I mentioned we're going to make a lock and key, and we have the lock part. We'll die cut out with red. The back of the lock is we'll cut out with silver, and of course we want the key. We'll cut this out with silver also. So I have a bit of die cutting to do. You know the drill. I'll be right back. Get out. I zoomed in a little bit. We start by flipping over his face here. Add a little glue. And this piece goes right behind. And then we can take the white features and add this right over the top. And then there's debossed area, so you know where to put them. We'll add a little glue here, and we can add his face. For his breeches, we just add a couple dots, and then this piece will create the white buttons that go behind it. And then we can add some glue here. Oh. I just realized this, but my little wax pick 'em up tool broke. But nice thing is Simon has refills, so I'm going to refill this real fast. I'll be right back. We are brand new again. Lovely. Then we can add his shoes. Very, very easy to layer together. And then for his arms, we just add a little dot of glue behind the circle. Style his arms to go anywhere. I just love this. He comes together so quickly, and look, I just think he's adorable. And then lastly, we add the tail. And then we can finish off the heart by adding a little bit of glue behind the red piece and layer it on the silver. And our locket is created. That would be my focal image. Let's move on to step number 2. That's where my stitched edge circle backgrounds will come in handy. Again, you can just use double stitched circle dies and create a circle frame. Let me bring in some white cardstock and I will run this through my die cut machine. I'll be right back. While I was at it, I also die cut out 2 circles, that smaller circles, let me show you the size difference, that will fit in here like this. Okay, so we're just going to layer these together. And then I thought we would do a home panel like this, but I didn't want to put, I was going to put some acetate behind here, but I thought, you know, maybe not. Maybe I'll use the white. Depending on how busy my background's going to be, we may do a home panel like this. Okay, so we'll see. I'll put this with step 1, and then we're going to move on to step number 3, which is our greeting. Our greeting, we're breaking out our BetterPress system, and we are going to do a little bit of better pressing. If you have red foil, you could do that. Let's go ahead and tack down some white cardstock to our plate here. And then the nice thing is the die will cut out all of the greetings at once, so you can pick and choose which one you want because it's just one die. I think that's so nice. I'm going to use red ink. The one that I'm using is from Simon Says Stamp. It's cherry. I'm going to go over my greeting here. Best thing, if you guys have a BetterPress, the best thing that I ever did was put a piece of plastic over my magnet. It really does protect your plate. I just have Scotch tape over here and here, and it does protect it really nicely. Let's go ahead and run this through. Just love how perfect the greetings are. There's some over inkage, but no worries, because when you put the coordinating die over it, it'd help if I flipped it over the right way. But see, once you add your die, these spots won't make a difference. But I'll run this through my die cut machine, and we're going to have a whole bunch of greetings. The one I'm using for my card today is, of course, You Hold the Key to My Heart. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put a foam strip behind here. And we're going to move on to step 4, which is our background. That's where our pattern paper will come in. This is the paper pack, and again, I'm not sure if they have this one. Look how cute. So cute. There's multiple, there's 3 of each. There's 12 designs in here, and there's 3 of each. And I really like the little hearts. They're like a dark gray heart pattern. And then I also like the polka dots, the distressed polka dots. We're going to be using both of these for our card. We're going to layer them together. So for my background, I'm going to trim this to an A2 panel. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then for this one, we're going to trim this one down. We're going to go 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. There we go. I'm just going to put these back real quick, and then we'll layer both of those together like this, and I'll put this on my card base right in front. That will be my background for today. Now I'm going to bring in the rest of my elements, but before we add these to this, I do want to start with step number 5, which is embellishing, I'm bringing in some of my Lawn Fawn twine. This one is red hemp twine. Another great twine to use because it's a little bit rigid, a little bit stiff, is the Spellbinders red hemp cord. I think this is a little bit more of a richer color. You can see this is more of a lighter red, but I wanted the nice and dark one. I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times here. Okay, I placed it maybe about, let's see, I placed it about 1.25 inches from the left side, but I may move it depending on where we're going to put our frame. And it looks like I need to move it up a little bit, so I'm going to do that. To move it up a little bit, just open your card base and bow it a little bit, and then you can slide it up. Real easy to do. Let's see if this will work. I think that's a great spot. Okay, and I do think I'm going to add my white piece here. So let's add a little bit of tape behind here. We'll place where we want our circle, and then I'm going to layer this piece right over that twine, and then I'll tack it down, and then I'm going to add some glue behind here, and then I'll tack my frame. There we go. And I suppose I can trim these here. Okay. Now we're going to add this little circle, which is going to break it up a little bit. I just wanted to add some extra black, and I think kind of creating like a bullseye, I think this is going to work great. I'm going to pop up my Steamboat Willie. He's going to go right here. Lovely. And then I'm going to add my greeting next. We're going to kind of land him on the greeting. I always like to do that. And then we can bring in a small foam square, and we'll pop up our little key. Now we can add our little lock and key. Maybe the nice thing about this guy is he can actually be holding it. You can actually put it on his hand. Kind of fit it in there. And then we can add the little key with a little bit of glue. Now, since we have a lot going on with the pattern paper, all I'm going to do is add some Simon Says Stamp Moonshine sequins. And let's go ahead and add these. Wonderful. And that, well, kind of, when your string's a little bit rigid, just to fix it, you can kind of curl it with your nail. If you don't want to curl it with your nail, you could curl it with your bone folder. But that way we don't have a rigid. Just adjust the little string. And that's my card project, my cute little Valentine for today. Hope you enjoyed my project. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.